What you gonna do, brother, when Jeff Townsend Media runs wild on you?
You heard it, Luke. What you gonna do, brother?
Yeah. Every time that comes on, I get like jacked up right immediately.
Like, picture like Hulk Hogan posing.
Yeah.
Hogan must pose, man. He made a lot of money just doing those poses.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I had the physique. I would do the same thing.
He's a real American. He gets a little confused on like the historical facts of things, but it's all right.
No,
he claims he's a lot of places that he wasn't, but somebody said they're real American. We are all real Americans.
Yeah.
And we are live across 8 platforms right now, so that's awesome. Yeah, Facebook, multiple Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. No, we're not on TikTok now. Twitter, Instagram, Kick. We're going with the Kick.
Nice. Are we on Twitch too?
You are on Twitch, yes. Sorry if I didn't say that. Yeah, the TikTok algorithm hates me, so I'm just doing gaming streaming on there. So
there you go.
All right. Well, how do we sound? Sound good, everybody? Before we get going here, just verifying.
Yeah, we occasionally have microphone issues, but I think we're all right tonight. But
I think so. Yeah. Luke loves Twitch. I can tell. Yeah, you saw a little smirk on his face when he said it. He's like, Twitch.
I do love Twitch.
How come every time you say Twitch, you kind of like Twitch? Yeah.
Twitch. Yeah.
All right, moderator, producer says we sound good, so we're gonna go with it. You want me to kick it off here?
Yeah,
kick off the episode here. All right. This is Jeff Townsend, and Luke is joining me for yet another live stream of Your Scary Stories, the show where we share your scary stories and a collection of scary stories around the internet live on this stream across 8 different platforms like we just talked about before we hit the go button here. The official go button. You know what I mean when I say the go button. Talk, Luke. This is the point when you talk, damn it.
Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah, so I've always pictured that you had like a big button over on your side that makes everything work. So I've always expected it's an actual go button.
Yeah. It's like I got like a board over here, but it still comes down to the power of a mouse.
Nice. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, of course, I am live here in the Jeff Townsend Media Studios. You can see I got my little scary story theme going.
Yeah.
And Luke is live inside his recording box.
Yeah, it's a little box.
It is. I like it though.
It's also really bright. I don't know
it
why.
It is. Like I'm going with, I guess I'm the darkness and you're the light. I really don't know.
Yeah, it feels like I got like a 300-watt bulb shining in my face on this video here.
Maybe you do. I don't know what kind of power you got in there. Let's see here. Checking some messages. We've got some of the usual characters. So, man, Viv Games and CX Clips, they never miss a night, do they?
No, they haven't. Not for a while, anyway.
We got the usual. Well, we got everybody. You got somebody on every platform. So that's good. Well, so tonight, I think we're each going to attempt to do 3 different stories. We don't necessarily have. I have a pretty lengthy one of them, but the rest of our stories are fairly short tonight. And I'm going to try to play a video one. I'm curious, copyright wise, how it's going to work out. So it's possible that you watching this live stream might be the only time you see it, because it might not make it on the cutting room floor if it gets flagged. So
this is why I say everyone needs to watch this live. It's best live, and sometimes you might see something that no one else is going to see.
You might. That's very true. There's a lot of there is things has to get cut out and stuff. I realized that I've edited this. I will say we do clean it up like post, obviously, but the live experience, man, is the best for sure. So not that we edit a bunch out anyway, but we do try to make it sound better. But
yeah,
try to make it sound like I can actually read.
Yeah, or if we go on tangent that doesn't necessary, we sometimes cut it. But
dude, we go on so many tangents on this show. It's all right though. Some damn fine Coke Zero, and I'm going to start the stories off tonight. So last week we had this like theme of creeps. Hi Trish, I see you on Twitter there. We had this cream. We didn't have a cream of. We had a theme of creeps. So like, what did you say? Creepy people being
creepy people being creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found another creepy story that I'm going to share tonight, and this one's called "Creep on the Train." So yeah, like not like snakes on a plane or snakes on a train. It's creep on on Creep on a Train. So I'll kick things off this evening. Let me get the music going here. I almost forgot.
Yeah, can't forget the music.
Oh, I can never hear it anyway on my end, but
The recipe ain't right until you make it right.
let's see here. Let us know when you can start hearing it. Dun, 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 dun. Coming through? You're not hearing me. Cue the music. Can you hear me?
The music comes through, but you're breaking up.
But I'm good now, though.
You are now.
It just takes time, dude. You know how it is.
Yeah.
We got this down now after how many months have we been doing this? 6 months almost?
It feels like it. I don't know how long we've been doing
Yeah,
it.
let me know if the music's too loud in comparison to my voice, and I can certainly adjust it. But if not, then I'm going to kick the story off here.
I think we're good.
I hear him and music. I don't know who him is, but good. Isn't that like a band? Anyway. All right, I'm going to kick it off. So this is Creep on the Train. Creep on the Train, not to be confused with Snakes on a Plane or Creep on a Plane. This is a Creep on a Train. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. I've been reading these stories for a while, and I had an encounter a few weeks ago that I thought was worthy to share. This was in the Let's Not Meet Up Reddit group. I'll put some info about myself. I'm a female, mid-20s, about 5'7", and 130 pounds. I'm not tiny, but I'm not big either. I work overnights at the airport from 8 p.m. until 4:15 a.m., and I use the train to get from where I park to where I work. Usually I don't feel unsafe because I only go to one stop, to the parking garage employees use, and at the time the train is pretty crowded with employees that time of the morning, going to and from work. This morning, however, my husband was supposed to pick me up, but he overslept, so I had decided to ride a train to the bus stop about 20 minutes down the line, then take the bus stop closest to my house and walk from there. Unfortunately, this is about 2 miles. Anyway, the train was fairly crowded when I first boarded. As I sat down near the back, I noticed a scraggly young guy chatting with some of the flight attendants who were on the ride. By scraggly, I mean he had long, dirty hair, a dirty beard, and even though he had dark skin, I could tell his hands were very dirty. Since all kinds of people work at the airport, I assumed this guy worked for the same airline as a mechanic, a baggage handler, or something along those lines, which would honestly explain why his hands were dirty. I knew them, the attendants, so I didn't pay much attention beyond a glance. I popped my headphones in, pulled out my book, and started reading. The train pulled into the next stop, and all the airport employees got off. As the train pulled away, I looked up and realized the train was entirely empty, except for me and that scraggly man. This wouldn't normally have been a problem, except he was blatantly staring right at me. Not just a few glances, but actually wide-eyed staring at me. Oddly enough, his mouth was open too. I got extremely uncomfortable, but since I was on the one end of the train and he was on the other, I tried to go back to reading and hoped he would confine his weirdness to staring and nothing more. Unfortunately, he did not. As soon as I looked away, he started moving towards me. He stopped at the end of my row of seats, turned towards me, gripping the overhead bar above me, and stared some more. I kept trying not to look at him because I was afraid that eye contact would be interpreted as an invitation to do something more than stare, like possibly have a conversation. I certainly did not want that. He sat down in the row across the aisle, then got up and moved to the seat directly behind me. I still refused to look at him, but he must have leaned really close to me because I could feel his breath moving my hair. Then I felt his finger lightly running down the side of my neck. I'm not ashamed to admit that I nearly pissed myself, and I jerked violently away. Over my music, I heard him hiss like a snake. Then when I decided I was probably a few seconds away from getting assaulted, stabbed, or possibly even both, the train was nearing the next stop. So I made a plan. I got a tight grip on all my stuff, and as soon as the doors opened, I shot out of my seat and out of the door as fast as I could, and I booked it into the second car. I peeked out the window to see if he had followed me. To my horror, I saw him leaning out the door of the first car, looking up and down the dark, deserted station area. Thankfully, he must not have seen me get into the second car because I saw him stomp his foot. I saw his mouth move and pull back into the train as the door closed. I'm not a lip reader, but it was very easy to see what he had said before he ducked back inside. Effing cunt. By the time the train got to the bus station, my panicked phone calls had already woken up my husband, and he met me there in the car. I have no idea who this scraggly guy. I have no idea what the scraggly guy intended to do when we got off at the bus station, but I'm glad I didn't have to find out by enduring a longer bus ride with him. Since this happened, and I realized how utterly defenseless I would have been if it would have gone beyond staring and a very little creepy finger touch, I enrolled in kickboxing. I'm only a few weeks in, but now I can throw a mean right jab and kick combo. So, creepy guy on the train, let's not meet again. If we do, you're getting your teeth knocked out.
He said it wasn't snakes on a plane, but he hissed like a snake.
Yeah, I forgot about that part, huh? What are the odds of that? Oh my god!
Right? That's a creepy dude. Yeah,
A lot of comments in the chat about how freaky he is. The hissed, they picked up on the hiss right away. Somebody said, "Guy thought he was charming. What would he expect by doing that?" I don't know. It's not actually funny either, though. I mean, that's
no, it's not.
It's pretty messed up.
That's a creepy guy that needs to be put in his place.
Yeah, it seemed innocent at first, right? Just some weird ass dude in like the back of the bus. He's talking with people, so you probably think not much about it. Like, hey, maybe they know him or something. But then just to get increasingly closer to where you're sitting is so creepy.
That's weird.
I think the climax of the creepiness, how do you like the way that sounds, was the feeling the breath, like his breath was moving her hair.
Yeah. Wow. What a freaking weirdo. I would definitely continuing the creepy people being creepy theme from last week.
Yeah, it could have definitely fit in last week perfectly. We had a full list of great things, including the dancing bushman, but
yeah, I forgot.
Creep on a train. How do you feel about it?
That was nuts. The someone here, this Trish person mentioned that, yeah, what if he was just, trying to tell her something like the guy in Urban Legends movie.
You're talking like that movie from the 90s?
That's what I believe they brought up, yeah. The one where like there's someone in the back seat and he's like trying to tell her, but he can't get it out because he's got like a slight speech impediment and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, she could lip read what he said later.
Yeah.
He was
a monster. He needs to be definitely put down, and
I mean, certainly if he had a speech impediment like that, he couldn't get that mad at her, right? To try to like chase her off the train and swear. Yeah, somebody said it. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Yeah. I didn't even know you could see the fucking chat, Luke. We've been doing this for 6 months.
I just now figured out how to do it.
That makes it a lot easier.
The last go, I was like, oh, there's a button that just says comments.
I'd say I've been hauling the load the whole time here, and you didn't say a word to me.
Well, I didn't know that was there. I was like, I thought maybe you had something special over on your end.
I am pretty special, let me tell you. Not as special as this creepy guy, though.
No, this guy was something else.
Luke, I always ask you this awkward question of what would you do in that situation?
Well, that's really weird.
You say, get out here.
If I was a man in that situation, my personal self in that situation, I would probably be like, get the hell away from me. What the hell?
Yeah.
But, I could definitely see someone else and, someone smaller or, and this guy is definitely creepy. Getting away is just the best course of action.
But this is what you'd want to do, though.
3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm insane with anger. We're gonna beat your ass. We're gonna tear your head off. I'm losing my mind. It's time for an whooping.
I cursed. I heard.
Yeah, I actually think about that scene pretty often.
Why would you think about that scene pretty often?
Well, actually, because it was
I'm insane with anger.
A long while, not long while back, I guess maybe like 7 years ago, our business was robbed. I don't know if you knew about that.
No.
Someone had broken in and they stolen the money from the registers, and we came in that day. We had to do a sweep of the building because we didn't know if someone was still in there, because like we didn't have cameras at the time, and there was a whole bunch of stuff. And so like part of me was like, maybe we should just yell out like in signs to like try to force anyone that might be in hiding out. We probably would. I don't know. We were pretty angry, and there were like 4 of us, so we could have, we would beat the person up. but yeah, I do think about that every once in a while. I think about that day fairly often, and just go into a fit of rage. But I don't know.
Well, brother, we won't make you rage too much. That is one down, and now it is your turn. I certainly hope you are ready. Let me get the music going.
Oh yeah.
I would say with anger. Not yet. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, fantastic. All right. This is called The Demon in the Hallway. I always visited my grandmother as a little girl. She had this light in her hallway that turns on and activates with sound. It was kind of creepy. Sometimes it would randomly light up without any sound. One night, I was over there with my sister, and we slept in the bed with Grandma. She had the TV on, but the sound was off. It was just to light up the room. My grandmother slept on one side of the bed. My sister was in the middle, and I was on the end facing the hallway. That night, I felt scared for no particular reason. Every time the hall light shut off, I would clear my throat or make a noise to turn it back on. It was very late, somewhere between 1 or 2 in the morning, and the light, of course, started to turn off, so it was time for me to activate it by making a sound. I cleared my throat and didn't turn on. I can't explain why I was so scared at this moment, but I knew I needed to get that light back on. So I didn't want to make a loud noise, though, because it was dark and everyone else was asleep. I finally decided I was going to clap. I clapped my hands and I turned the light back on. As soon as the hallway light came on, a black figure flew down the hallway into the bedroom. It came down beside my side of the bed, looking at me, before it disappeared out the window to my left. I felt like I was paralyzed the whole time. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything. After that night, I told my mother and my sister and everyone else everything that happened. I could never sleep in that room ever again. To this day, I'm still terrified of her house and have nightmares. I still see that thing every night when I have that dream. I hear noises every once in a while when I'm there, if I have to go there for family functions, and it feels like something is still there watching me.
Let me ask the first obvious question that's clearly on everybody's mind. What kind of light is that?
I'm guessing that must be like a clap on, clap off kind of thing, but maybe a little more pumped up.
Clap on brand. So
Yeah.
the game says. Trish
Yeah.
said shadow people are an actual thing.
We've had a couple stories about shadow people.
We have. I even had that. I even had my sleep. My true story that happened to me that when I was
that
sleeping.
day. That was even worse than shadow people.
Yeah. But it made me think of it every time I hear a story about somebody sleeping.
Yeah.
What a crazy light there! That thing would be going off like crazy at my house with kids, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking about like just any type of noise could like clearing your throat could sometimes turn it on. That is on a hair trigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, so So it must have been like maybe a slightly faulty clap on or something that was like just really sensitive.
Or maybe the shadow person was affecting it.
Could be. There's a lot of things there that, obviously something is in that, that hallway and something possibly in the house. And it's very strange set of circumstances. But like, I was like reading this, I was just like, yeah, this would be something very terrifying for a child to go through. I think they mentioned that they were younger at the time this happened. And they to see something like that run down the hallway super fast. It reminds me of this one particular short horror movie called I can't remember what it's called now.
It reminds me of White Noise. What it reminds me of.
Oh yeah,
There's
that
three
too.
figures in White Noise that would
Yeah. There's this YouTube short horror movie where like this creature is like at the end of the hallway, and every time the light goes off, it gets slightly closer, but it's like, in the doorway and something like that. You can't really see it. It's just like a shadow, but then it ends up beside their bed and stuff like that. It just reminded me of that.
Read my grandma comment. There's not a grandma comment where I can see it. Sorry. It's possible that some of them are not going through. We're dealing with a lot of messages on our screen.
Yeah.
From a lot of different platforms. You got to remember that. So not ignoring anybody. I'm going to ask another question so you just sitting there clapping my grandma when she's trying to sleep. Like, I don't.
Yeah, she must have been really terrified to go through that much, make that much noise, to get that light on. But I guess you could kind of see like, if you can kind of tell something's there, you might be like, I need to get this light on.
The creepy part was sleeping in bed with grandma. Yeah, I don't know. How old was the person? That must have been a big bed. They had 3 people in there.
I think in the comments they mentioned that they were like 13 or 14 years old at the time. Like
something scary happened, you definitely feel better, I guess, if you're with people.
Yeah, and I could see like a couple, younger teenage girls in a big queen size bed with their grandma. That would make sense, especially if the grandma doesn't have extra rooms and they're just spending the night there. Yeah, that would make sense.
Still creepy. I think this light itself is a creepy concept. Like it would be going on and off all the time on its own, I feel like, which would creep me out.
Yeah, I think the light, she even mentioned there was a creepy light, because it would just go on and off on its own. So yeah, that seems like something that exacerbated things.
Exasperated. I like that word.
I wish they would just have, I'm sure she wished they just had a light that just turned on, like a normal person.
You can do all sorts of crazy stuff these days. You could turn light on your phone. You could do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
clap on light. Yeah, somebody said we need a sponsorship. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take a cut from that. They still make those
commercials. Yeah, they do. I think so.
Oh, snap on light. Yeah, you do see it. I guess like they used to show it in TV shows, right? They'd clap and the light would go off.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a cool story. It's a short one, like you said. But shadow people are definitely something I think like out of all the paranormal things that people experience, that's probably one of the most common, I would imagine.
Yeah, you definitely hear it a lot, to the point that it's like, it has to be something because so many people experience it around the world.
Yeah. What about you? You ever seen a shadow person? You don't know?
No.
I think everybody thinks they've possibly seen some shadow figure.
I mentioned the one story from the old restaurant that I worked at, where it was like less of a shadow and more of a cloud and like a ghostly white color, but it was a person. Aside from that, I can't really behind Viv Games.
If you're new to here, it was revealed in a story for the first time ever here that Luke had seen a ghost behind Viv Games, and he never said anything until the live stream. So it was revealed. See, that's why you got to join live. You never know what's going to happen. That was a live reaction when that happened. I remember the look in his eyes when he was with us that night when we were doing it live, and he saw. When he heard you say that for the first time, it blew his mind.
Yeah, and that's like the closest thing to a shadow person. But most shadow people, we will describe it as almost a malevolent creature.
Yeah.
We've
seen that a lot. I heard that a lot on the show too.
I didn't feel any malevolence from that thing, I guess you could say. It was more of like I almost was hit with a wave of curiosity. Like they were curious about our existence. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And so I can't even really tell you what the heck that was, because I've never actually heard anyone else describe it like that. But that's what I felt from it. And then it just kind of went away.
Yeah. I don't know of anything that's like stood out to me too much, but we always think we see stuff. So like I can't think I've actually seen like a shot. I've seen that weird shot like figure that I couldn't really see features on, but I don't think it was, like we said earlier, necessarily a shadow figure thing.
That was like a flesh figure. That was weird what you described.
So if you weren't scared, it probably wasn't evil. Your body would tell you. Yeah, I feel like we get those senses when something creepy is happening.
Yeah, I get that with like regular people sometimes. Like there's
Breathing on your neck.
No, not quite like that. That would definitely set off some alarm bells. But sometimes you get around a person and you kind of like something about them. You're like, this person's off.
Yeah.
And so you could, obviously would feel the same around some sort of entity.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next stop on the journey here. I know that you love skinwalkers, Luke.
I have a skinwalker story too tonight, so I'm excited.
No fucking way. Every week. You're gonna share it next?
Yeah.
Let's do it then. It'll go right in.
It's skinwalker time.
Well, I have a clip of a skinwalker sighting.
Nice.
This is an insane clip. It actually was on Paranormal Caught on Camera on Travel Channel. Like I said, if you're joining us live, that might be your time to see it here. If not, I will put the link in the full episode notes when this full clip comes out, because we put the clips out first in the full episode. But hopefully it'll work later on post. I don't know. But this is a hunter. I would think the kid was a young adult or a teenager from what I picked up on. Apparently there's this thing where they live stream through their scope. They're like recording through their scope. I'm not familiar with this. I haven't been hunting since I was a kid, but I guess this is a thing where they're like able to record through their scope or something. So I think is what's happening here. So he's out hunting with a friend and they see a few coyotes or something, and then they see the skinwalker. So let's get this going. Luke, I know you're going to be excited.
I am.
Open.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick? What the What was that?
He's walking creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Watch again as the coyotes disappear into some brush. Moments later, an oddly shaped humanoid figure emerges.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick? What was that?
My name is TJ and this is my video. To me, it looked like a tall person figure. Like, I would have guessed that it was 7 feet tall or so, and it just had like disproportionately long arms.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick?
So off the bat, I was confused and just trying to figure out like, what could that have been?
What was that?
He's walking creepy.
Dude, that was a skinwalker. What?
Being from Utah, there's actually a place here called Skinwalker Ranch, and there's been a few times where I'll hear stories about it and be like, there's no way that's real, right? And then after seeing something like that in person, my first thought, was that a skinwalker, you know? Because that's what we would have related to, is pretty odd looking, and skinwalkers can be like, they can look lots of different ways.
What the frick?
I'm gonna go get my gun.
That was a skinwalker.
I wouldn't necessarily say I was afraid, but we all did sleep in the tents with our guns next to us since we were on that hunt.
So, what exactly did TJ see that day? Through his scope.
You can judge a little bit of the size of it because there's some dogs playing in the not too distant background. And this figure's there. It looks like a large humanoid figure, and it's moving across the field at a very decent pace, looking like it's maybe swinging its very long arm.
Oh, what the crap? Is that a guy? What the frick?
Whatever it is, it's freaking odd.
What the frick?
I'm gonna go get my gun.
That was a skinwalker.
Given the location and the animals that were nearby, perhaps TJ's instincts are right.
One of the most common animals that a skinwalker is purported to turn into is a coyote. And we see in this video 2 coyotes walking quite naturally into the underbrush, and out from the other side emerges what appears to be this misshapen sort of humanoid figure. And this correlates with the stories that people have told about skinwalkers.
Fortunately, TJ and his friends and family escaped from whatever this thing was, unharmed. But his experience serves as a reminder that no matter your beliefs, there are still many things out there that are well beyond our understanding.
Well, I think I was off with the whole scope thing. Maybe they're just recording. Couldn't remember exactly, but nevertheless, well, your thoughts? I know you're a big skinwalker thing.
Yeah, that is really, really creepy. The size of it looks rather large, like unusually large, like size of like people describe skinwalkers being as something like 7.5 feet tall or something like that size. So it doesn't look like a normal person, but that is definitely like a bipedal thing.
It's moving very fluidly through that terrain.
And those arms are huge.
I mean, it just blows through here. It was crazy.
The only thing that, aside from, Skinwalker, the only thing I could think of is it kind of looks like a chimp or an orangutan.
Yeah.
Running. It looks very ape-like.
Yeah.
And very creepy.
It looks very light, though.
It does look light. Like it's like the weight of a coyote by the way it's moving.
Go back to the thing here so we can get it. Zooms in here at the end.
Super weird. That is creepy.
It's very far away too.
It is, yeah, you can tell.
But it's like, did it know it was? They saw him and is trying to get out of the. I mean, like that's what I'm trying to figure out. You think it was spotted, and then it was like, oh shit, I gotta, Oh, it's fast. You're right.
A lot of times they say that skinwalkers can sense you at a distance. So it may have known that if it is one, it may know that they're there. Utah, like he mentioned, is a hotbed for skinwalker sightings. Someone mentioned that he said, what the frick? And they're most likely Mormons. So that's probably why they were like instantly in like a PG mode.
I think the other one was cussing though. Yeah, what the frick was brought up in the chat here quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know if I could contain myself to what the frick if that happened.
If you're just like that's the way you're raised, you might just do that. But
I was talking about me, yeah.
Yeah. And so like anyway, that was creepy, super creepy looking.
Yep. It was a good video though. You hadn't seen that before?
No, I've never seen that before.
Is that some of the best Skinwalker footage you've seen?
Yeah, it definitely is. Actually, I've only seen like a couple other like videos that are supposedly a Skinwalker or whatever, but nothing like that. No, that's definitely the most intense one.
I don't know if it's quite as good as the video last week of the haunting, but it's
that was.
But here's the thing though, and this is also brought up in the chat, and this is what I immediately thought. If you are running around like that during hunting season, you are crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Wearing something that looks the same color as the coyotes too, that they might be hunting. That's the other thing. What is that color about? Because like they have the coyotes in one frame, and it's that same exact color.
Yeah.
And so like,
you think it was trying to chase after them or not?
I don't think so. I think it was traveling somewhere, and so.
No matter your beliefs.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like, I think it's just going somewhere, and they happen to catch it. So like, they mentioned that they slept in their tent that night with their guns near them.
Somebody's saying, did you see the shadow at 53 seconds?
I did not.
Whoa.
Where's
Is that
that?
a bird? Maybe it's a bird.
Where at? Oh, probably.
It vanishes. I see what they're saying. They're
Yeah.
saying that the shadow takes off by him. It kind of looks like a bird to me. Look above his head, and it flies into the. Here, I'll just let it play. It's like the shadow when he passes through the tree line here flies, and it stops into the trees, flying fast too.
Yeah, I saw that there.
Still going.
Yeah,
Then it
it's
stops.
going to the left. You can see it on the left side after a bit.
Yeah,
It's a tree line. That probably it startled a bird, which
it
means
stopped
that
pretty fast though. I will say that the person's right. You can see it
means
take
that-
off.
Yeah.
Takes off, then it
So
stops.
they're in the middle there, but you can also see it towards the end. I thought maybe you
Oh
can.
yeah, no, it goes to the final tree.
Yeah. But that means
I
that
can't pick it up
something
in slow
actually-
motion very well though.
Something actually went into that woods. Then I mean something is scared.
And it's the second he vanishes.
Yeah. So
Okay, it's above him. Look,
Yeah.
he's going out. It's going in.
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes all the way to the left. So it makes it seem like it actually startled something there. I mean, this is an actual large creature crashing into that woods.
Is that him stalled there, or is it gone at that point in time?
I think it's gone there. Like it goes into the woods and you can't see it anymore. Like a bush or something there.
Yeah, I can see what the person's saying though. It kind of looks like he does, like somehow go into a. Someone said can't fake a scared bird flying away. What? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but it lends credence to the whole thing.
What'd you say?
It lends credence to the video that there's a large creature crashing through the brush there,
Yeah,
causing it. Because like if a coyote goes into the brush, it wouldn't be as scared to fly away that much.
yeah. I mean, it is kind of down a holler, I guess you would say, like a little hill there. So it's really hard to say how tall it is, but it definitely appears to be of pretty good height. I mean, I will say that.
Yeah, it looks to be in the 6 foot plus range, just from the angle that they're in, and the length of those arms is what's really crazy.
It literally does look like a monkey running. You're right. I did. Now that I think about it, just like the arm wise,
Yeah,
almost like it's almost running with its arms.
yeah,
Crazy video though.
that was very scary.
That creep. You think you'd go hunting there again? The kid said he wasn't really scared. Do you believe that?
I think there's something that you say a couple days later in the cold light of day that you'd say, "Oh, I'm not scared." I'm sure at the time they were probably like, "Oh man, that's something else."
And it said they slept there. Did you catch that? In the
Yeah.
tent?
Yeah, I mean, if they're on a good hunting trip, they probably would sleep there a couple days.
You can't let a skinwalker interrupt a hunting trip, right?
Yeah.
My favorite skinwalker video, probably. No, that's a good one. Hopefully everybody can enjoy that later. I guess we'll see though.
Yep.
You have what story are we at on here? Is this your second?
Yes, it's my second.
All right, let you go for it here. Let me get the music going.
All right.
Now try.
All
right. Today.
Second or two more, we should be good.
You're good now.
All righty. All righty. This is titled "We Found a Skinwalker." The person mentioned, so this is an older story. It's from about 5 years ago, and they said this happened to them a year before. Me and a few friends decided to take a trip up to the Rocky Mountains because we were bored and decided it would be a nice drive. After getting up past Breckenridge and a few of the old mining towns, we found ourselves in a heavily wooded park area. It was starting to get dark, and we decided it was time to turn around and head home. It was a miracle my old stick shift Kia had made it as far as it did. But it got good gas mileage, and I trusted it. we got up through some of the forest roads and switchbacks. It was getting late, probably around 9:30, and it was pitch black outside. Our cell service was also going in and out due to it being so far out in the woods. We decided to stop at what looked like a trailhead and check a map to make sure we were getting back towards the highway. We hopped out of the car. There wasn't a map on what we thought was a park sign, which turned out to be a piece of wood that may have been a sign at one point but had eroded beyond legibility. We turned around and then heard a noise near the car, brushing it off as a raccoon or maybe even a small deer. We got back in, and then one of my friends at the back commented on a cabin-looking structure through a bit of trees when it turned on the headlights. I was starting to get a bad vibe from this area. I started backing out of the, little divot we were in. That was when we saw it near the trees. It wasn't a deer, but an almost dog-like creature, too big to be a dog, however. It had patches of black fur and an arch in its back. When we started to back out, it turned to look at the car. Piercing yellow eyes shot out from the darkness, almost like a flashlight from the reflection from the headlights. Now I knew for sure I didn't want to find out what it was, and we whipped the car around as fast as we could. I got back on the road, and I thought we were in the clear until my friend in the back shouted that it was running beside the car, going around 35 miles an hour. I hit the gas, and it made an unearthly growling noise. After the next turn, it was gone. There are stories in these parts of the mountains about skinwalkers, which are a Navajo legend. They most commonly appear as a black four-legged creature and fittingly have disturbingly yellow eyes. While I'm not sure what the thing outside the car was, I don't think I ever really want to know. We have all sworn we would never return there, and we haven't told anyone else about what happened that night.
Running 35 miles an hour?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot of comments reacting to that as well.
It's funny how
chupacabra. Someone said it sounds like a chupacabra.
Actually, I was thinking the chupacabra story because also the chupacabra is also described as having lamp-like yellow eyes and stuff like that. I need to find a good chupacabra story sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was reading it and I was like, man, I'd go for a good skinwalker story. And so when you said you had one, I was like, oh, no way.
It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better. And they're so well documented. It's like almost as much, if not more so than the shadow people.
I'm not going to lie. Until we started the show, I had never heard of a skinwalker.
Oh, really?
I just heard of Smooth Skin from Fallout. And that guy'd call you, hey, Smooth Skin.
I had heard about them several times over the years. Mostly because I hear a lot of Native American stories here and there, and so I had heard about, and they're supposedly ancient shamans made a pact with something and created these things. And
I swear you have a new backstory every time for Skinwalker. Is this the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. And
right. So where you're just throwing something new out every time.
Yeah, apparently the Navajo shamans,
Navajo, you did talk about that, yeah.
They made a pact with something and created these things, and they've been around since then.
It does seem like you said, though, it's like Arizona, Nevada, Utah.
And this one was actually in Colorado. I don't know if I mentioned.
Okay, same thing, right? I guess. Right.
Yeah, all in that western state area.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's something else. Another thing about skinwalkers is apparently when you talk about them, you summon them and they come to you eventually.
We've been talking about these sons of bitches a whole lot, so
yeah. So we might need to be ready. They're also.
What do I do though if I encounter a skinwalker?
Well, they're unkillable. You can't harm them with any mortal weapon. I do know that some shamans can apparently cast spells to keep them away. And mostly you're just got to try to not follow them. They'll call to you in the night. And they say, don't go out there when they call to you. Don't go where they want you to go.
But they didn't in that video. Or in the video I just showed, or in the story, just disturb them or something. Like,
I think if they are like, if you stumble upon them, they'll chase you. But if they're actively hunting you,
are they able to like hunt you and do whatever to you if chasing you? Is because the way you presented before was like they needed to manipulate you. These sons of bitches are just chasing them.
So if they're actively hunting you, they'll try to manipulate you into coming near them so that then they can chase you.
Okay.
So if you stumble upon them, they'll just chase you. But most of the time, they'll be hunting you and they'll be calling to you to get.
Someone said they'd never go outside late at night to someone calling their name. I probably wouldn't either.
Yeah. But they can also sound like people you know.
Yeah, like that one story with that guy who was camping with that other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember that one where they were shaking the camper? We have
Yeah.
a pretty good Skinwalker collection going here. We're gonna have like one day we'll have a full episode we can just share.
Yeah, a Skinwalker playlist.
Yeah. I think one day we could literally just re-release them on one episode and
Yep. The top Skinwalker stories.
Yeah. I just don't know if the not deers figured out in there or not. I still got to get that.
The not deers are something else. From what people say, they're not Skinwalkers.
And they're
not
deer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Train
kind of like the train guy. Maybe that's what he was whispering.
Yeah, he's a Skinwalker, but not a very good one.
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane. Skinwalker on a train.
He's trying to become a snake. He's going
hiss at her. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that was a cool story, man. I can't believe we did it again with the Skinwalker things. Like we've talked about them so much. I don't know how to like reply anymore besides wow. It's like every time it's doing something crazy, it's like running 35 miles an hour, it's shaking campers.
It's like, yeah, sure. That sounds right.
It's traveling in a pack that one time when it was shaking that camper. There's a couple of them.
There's a couple of them, yeah. Then there was that one that the truck driver who encountered one in the desert. It like rammed into her truck. Do you remember that story?
Was that the dog one or a different one?
It was a dog, yeah.
But it was a weird dog, right? It was like standing up and doing weird stuff. Yeah. Gosh, that was a good story too, man. I don't know, man. I'm glad you shared that one. I'd never realized there's so many Skinwalker stories out there till now.
They're pretty prevalent.
Well, I have my story. I'll go next. It is an eBay story. So let me cue up the music. We shared Craigslist stories and stuff like that on here before. I don't remember.
I think so.
It goes along with that, I guess. Okay. Hear me fine? Not yet. Getting there.
Yeah, not yet.
Someone says they love eBay. That's like 20 years ago, dude.
You're coming through.
Okay, yeah. Someone said they love eBay. That's like 20 years ago. All right. Okay, so this is a great title. This is called I Bought Fake Beats by Dre from eBay, and now I'm fucked. And just when I thought my life was getting back to normal, Trish and I got married in January this year. We moved into our own place not too long ago. Life seemed to start becoming the way it always should have been. But no, it would be too crazy to live a normal effing life. There's a lot of cuss words in this story, by the way. When we moved in, we introduced ourselves to most of the neighbors. We live in an apartment complex that consists of 2 buildings across from each other. View from our bedroom looks at the other building. But hey, the place was cheap and a good location, so we couldn't really complain. We hit it off with the 2 of our neighbors right away, Jeff and Rachel. They're a bit older, probably mid-30s, but the chemistry was there, so that's all that mattered. I actually believe that Jeff and Rachel were a couple because they were always together, but later I learned that they were just neighbors, living above each other in the building across from ours. Well, enough bullshitting. Let me get to the point. I bought a pair of new Beats by Dre wireless headphones on eBay, and I got exactly what I deserved. I got a fake pair. I started the process of complaint with eBay, but I knew that shit wouldn't work. The thing is, as fake as they were, headphones actually sounded pretty good. So I took them to work out at the gym that was on the first floor of our apartment building. I was running on the treadmill and on the phone, doing well. And just as I started thinking about maybe these counterfeits aren't that bad, the left ear cup started producing a cracking noise. I ignored it and simply kept running. Then a loud bang came from both of them and nearly... Okay, hold on, let me restart that. Then a loud bang came from both of the cups and nearly tripped on the machine. I stopped. Silence completely overtook the headphones at this point, after the loud noise. Then I heard some crackling again and what seemed like whispers. I knocked on one of the plastic cups, hoping that would fix them. It did. Whispers now became clear talking. This is the quote of what the voice we heard. Well, they said it was him, so it must be him, a male voice said. It sounded familiar, this voice. All right, but let's keep calm until we actually know for sure, responded a female voice. I recognized that voice. It was Rachel, and the male voice sounded a lot like Jeff. Then the cracking noise got loud again, reaching an unbearable pitch. As I was about to take the headphones off, the music started playing again. I didn't think twice about this event. I mean, why would I bother trying to understand how their conversation ended up in my headphones? Who gives a shit? I was just pissed that my fake beats were acting up. Jeff came over the next day. He is an electrician, and I asked him to help me install a pair of those clapping lights. I guess I watched too many movies, and I really wanted to be able to just clap for the damn light to come on. I found a good deal and bought a few, so Jeff was helping me install them. He did it for free. Since eBay hadn't done anything regarding my issue, I decided to keep the headphones. Seller wouldn't give me a refund, and they sounded all right, so I sucked it up. So 2 days ago, Sunday, I was relaxing at the balcony drinking some drinks and listening to Kanye's new album. I mean, I was sunbathing basically and listening to my favorite artist while drinking my favorite beer. Life was damn near perfect. Then the same crackling noise started again. And at first it didn't bother me, but it was getting louder and louder. It finally got really loud, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Whispers came through the headphones again. I turned up the volume to the max setting, and this is what I heard. We're going to have to approach Trish first. A million fucking goosebumps ran all over my body. If I learned anything from my encounters with Rose, it was that coincidences don't exist in my life. The voice saying my wife's name belonged to Rachel. There was no doubt at this point in time. I stood up in my chair and looked at the building across, but I couldn't see into Rachel's apartment. She had the blinds closed. Come to think of it, she and Jeff always had their blinds closed and were never on their balcony. This is what I heard next. At least 4 days. That's what we have to wait. You heard him. And after that, that was Jeff. I realized it was Jeff. I stood up, took my headphones off. I wanted to run over to his place as fast as I could and ask what the hell was going on. I just stood there for a minute trying to think. I put the beats back on my head, but at that point, the music was back on. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't mind the first interference, but this one was about my wife. And how in the world was I able to hear them talk? I assumed it was some kind of radio interference. I'm going to go ahead and restart this part just because I make sure I didn't mess it up. At least 4 days, that's what I have to wait. You heard him. And after that, him, that was Jeff. I stood up and took my headphones off. I'm running. Okay, I got it now. Sorry, I had to read that for myself to cipher that. Okay. I assumed it was some kind of radio interference. I decided to talk to Jeff about it. I texted him and asked him what was going on. After no text for a few minutes, I went back to drinking. 2 hours later, I was still sitting on the balcony without response from Jeff yet. Finally, around 9 p.m., I saw Jeff walk out of his building, and as soon as he got out, I yelled, "Hey man, you get my text?" "Nah, sorry. I left the phone at work. What's up? Your lights working okay? Lights are fine, man. Thanks. I was going to ask you, do you and Rachel talk over the radio or something? I swear to God, the man just stopped in his tracks. He was looking up at me, but he wasn't moving. After a minute or so of silence, he responded, Nah, man. Where'd you get that from? He smiled at me, but it seemed like a very forced smile. I said, Shit, man, no idea. Must have just been this beer. I said that forcing a smile while raising my empty beer bottle. He laughed at my joke and yelled a quick, Talk to you later, man, and went back inside. I thought that the whole encounter was strange. Shit, the whole day was strange as hell. But I wasn't thinking too much about it, and I was decently buzzed and pretty tired. I decided to go to sleep. Trish was already sleeping. Around 2 to 3 a.m., some kind of noise woke me up. I am a light sleeper, and even little things get me, but this sounded pretty loud. I sobered up quick enough to realize that the sound was coming from my headphones. It was that same crackling sound that got louder and louder. Finally, it went away, and the silence took over. I turned the volume all the way up, trying to hear anything. These damn things are so loud, they sound more like a boombox than headphones, but I still couldn't hear anything. Then a loud clap came from my fake Beats. The light in our bedroom turned on instantly. I was still a bit sleepy, so it took me a second to comprehend what the hell was happening. The clap activated the light. Who the fuck? Then it came to me. I walked over to our window, and that's where I nearly screamed. The building across the street had all lights off but two. Jeff was standing at the window in his apartment, and Rachel was standing at the window in the apartment above. They were both looking straight at me. Jeff was holding something that looked like a radio. He brought it to his mouth. Crackling came from the headphones again. Yep, is all he said. As he said it, the lights turned off in both the apartments, and I couldn't see anything anymore. My headphones went silent. If this is a prank they're pulling on me, it's a good one. If it's not a prank, here we go again. I struggled at one point in that one. I apologize for all of you watching.
Wow.
Like I said, I struggled a bit through that one, just trying to comprehend what was happening. I think I got it right. He was hearing conversations they're having about him.
That's super weird. Everything about that was weird. Starting from, the clap on showing up.
That was that. Well, the Trish and Jeff thing got me too, right? Because there's a person watching commenting named Trish.
Yeah, Jeff.
That was the first thing, and then the clap on light thing was really odd. This is one I'm not gonna lie. I had read it through really quick, so usually I read it multiple times, but I'm still struggling with how crazy this is.
What the hell were they doing? Why would they be talking about him, his wife, and then why are they communicating over radio? That's such a weird thing. I can definitely see, like, if you have some knockoff headphones that don't have proper shielding and may have like a strange wavelength thing that it's connected to, I could see that picking up radio signals. I've had things pick up radio signals before, in the past, and have weird interactions. And like sometimes, like, used to be older cell phones when they would ring, it would cause speakers on the computers to go nuts.
Someone said Russian spy. Russian spy, somebody said.
I have a ham radio, and I have picked up Russian radio that is very strange in the past. So I thought, man, what the heck are they talking about? I don't have a powerful ham radio. It's somewhere here in the States, and it's these guys talking Russian to each other. But anyway, I've always thought it would be great if that was a spy. But anyway, this was weird. That was a really weird story. And the end makes it even stranger because we don't have like a full resolution.
That's how it ended.
And so we don't know exactly where that happened from there. But yeah, this is a spooky story.
As all over the place this story was, and very unstructured and very difficult to read, it's very realistic.
Extremely realistic. That was the thing my takeaway there, though, was I could see these knockoff, like, counterfeit headphones being improperly shielded and picking up something. And radio doesn't care, right?
Let's let's look through some of this stuff that was said here.
Yeah.
First thing he picks up that I'm able to see is, well, they said it was him, so it must be him. All right, but let's keep calm until we actually know for sure. What else have we got here? We're going to have to approach Trish first, his wife's name.
Right.
This is creepy, dude. The thickest part I got me was when he was working out and it started talking about the Cubs falling or something. That part I didn't really get.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know if maybe he's just really high strung and assigning things to things.
Didn't know where the sound was coming from. I don't know.
But he mentioned that the static got really loud on those things as it started picking up stuff. That sounds realistic to me. All that sounds like something that really would happen. There are things that are, if not properly made, will pick up radio signals just like crazy. And so, that all sounded very real to me. I don't know what was going on, but that is crazy.
At least 4 days. That's what we have to wait. You heard him. I don't know, man.
That was nuts.
That it all kind of ends at this scenario where he's in bed. And these damn headphones are still picking up stuff. It's like these things can't be on, right?
It's possible he's keeping them plugged in and charged.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he mentioned if they're wireless ones that had like a battery or not.
I don't know.
I don't know much about like upscale headphones like Beats headphones. I don't know how they work.
He meant the cups of his earphones. Oh, shit. Hitting the cups of his earphones. Calling them cups.
Yeah.
Yes, headphones. Yeah. Headphones. That's a good way to word it. Yeah, gotcha. Like the Beats by Dre headphones.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing, but so he's hitting his headphones.
Yeah.
So he's trying to see if it's working, is what he was saying. He's running on the treadmill. He's hitting it, trying to see if it's working.
So I'm assuming these are wireless then, because he's on a treadmill and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an assumption.
So that makes
better though, and they're not even on his head.
Yeah. So that makes it even more likely that these things would pick up random signals. And then on top, because it'd be a wireless device, it'd be Bluetooth, but they could be unshielded Bluetooth and they could just pick up any old radio signal. And then
why are they talking about radio though? Like
that. That's where it gets really creepy. Is like, for people in the same building to be talking on a radio to each other is strange. But then the thing that I was interested in was, why would they not only be talking on a radio to each other, but why are they talking about him and his wife?
Yeah.
That is weird. Because, I don't know if he mentioned what he does for a living.
No, he just said that guy was an electrician.
So that, there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack, and that is weird.
Yeah, I had to do a retake a couple times there.
That's pretty spooky. That's a spooky story.
And it just ends.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
They're pulling a prank on him. How did he actually end it here? If this was a prank they're pulling on me, it's a good one. If it's not a prank, well, here we go again.
That's the thing. It could be a prank. It could be that they, someone even mentioned that maybe they were the eBay seller that he ended up buying from.
Yeah.
That would be kind of hard to pull off. But if he did, that'd be one thing. And then they were screwing with him deliberately. That would be hilarious to do to someone.
I'll try to get an update on it.
Yeah, I would like, if there's any more to it, that'd be great. Yeah, that was spooky.
A lot of times there isn't though, it's just like that's it. Which is crazy, but as a neat story though, it's creepy. It's just I'm just trying to take it all in still, and I think that it's just so odd they'd be talking about him. Like they didn't say what year it was, but they're Beats by Dre, so that's current. Why wouldn't they just talk on a damn phone?
The one thing that was weird was that he's mentioned he's listening to the new Kanye West album. And I was just like, ooh, Kanye West, jeez.
Yeah, but it has to be in a certain like it couldn't have been that long.
No,
Okay,
probably just a few years ago.
got to be the last decade, I would think, right? I mean,
Yeah.
even so, you have cell phones then. I don't.
Yeah.
Creepy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Super
look at your
weird.
ham radio different now, won't you?
No, it's always been creepy, and it's always weird what you hear on that thing.
It's like the baby monitors signs.
Like you hear Morse code from something
Yeah.
random, and you don't. There's no explanation, or weird stations that just repeat numbers over and over again.
Yeah.
It's all weird. Radio's weird.
Radio's weird. Speaking of weird, what weird story do you have? The last story of the night tonight.
This one is a special one.
Okay.
Because this one is my first-hand account from my brother and his family.
Oh, you can cue up the music for it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let me bring up my notes. So, for Latin here in a minute when I come through here, I'll get it. All right. So, a lack of a better term of what to describe this as, because I've consulted with some cryptozoologists on what to call this, and no one seems to know. We're going to call this the fox spirit of Heritage Lake. This is a true story that involves my brother and his stepchildren. And by my brother, I mean my actual brother. Starting around 5 years ago, the youngest of his stepchildren reported a massive fox creature standing at the end of the driveway. When he was asked if it was just simply like a fox that was just like walking around out there, he said it was standing on its hind legs and was about 5 feet tall. And my brother assumed it was just an overactive imagination and embellishment, so he wrote it off completely. Over the next several years, it was reported by all 4 of his stepchildren. They had seen it several times. Same description every time, same depiction of events every time. A long, thin, fox-like creature would slink out of the shadows, go to the end of the driveway, and stand on its hind legs and just stare at them. It would stare at them until they would finally go inside, never moving, never barking, never growling. The driveway is only about 20 feet away, so they were always able to get a pretty good description of it and how tall it was. My brother kept on considering it fake and did not believe them. Then, one night, within actually the last 2 weeks at this point, he was outside and he saw it. He noticed a couple other things that they didn't describe. It had long, pronounced canines that went past its lower jaw. And its paws on the front were not paws at all. They were long, thin, claw-like fingers, like a hand, resembling Count Orlok from Nosferatu, the old black and white vampire movie. And it did the same thing. It crawled out of the dark on its 2 front hands and its back paws, got to the end of the driveway, and stood there on its hind legs and stared at him. Not moving, not making a noise. He finally went inside, somewhat angry and upset at its existence, because he said he wanted them to take the trash out and not have to worry about a monster. But he was perplexed that this was actually a thing. He also said that recently he had been installing a pond near the end of the driveway, and on it he had a rock water feature that weighs about 100 pounds. And every time he has it set up, it is knocked over the next day. He believes this creature is knocking it over. At the moment, he is actually setting up trail cams, and we're hopefully going to capture something of this. Apparently, it's pretty consistent, though, according to his stepchildren. So hopefully in a couple weeks we might have some images.
Wow. Well, we should just go. We should just go out there and try to capture it too.
I've been wanting to. I was like, every once in a while, I was like, maybe we should just go.
Yeah.
Try to capture this thing on camera. I hope to get some images from the trail cams. It's apparently showing up very consistently, according to what the stepchildren said over the years. And like I said, they've been seeing it for 4 or 5 years now, and always the same description: 5 foot tall, standing on its hind legs.
Unlike your garage story, you never set up cameras there and shared it. This has to happen. This could be something significant.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing about the garage thing, after we talked about it, it stopped. So
Viv Games, does it stop for you too?
At least for me, it stopped. I don't know if I don't know if he's heard anything, but Dad stopped reporting things.
Yeah, did you actually talk to your dad about it? And you're like, like, no, I haven't heard anything either. He's out there now. That didn't answer the question. So your dad's actually commented saying he hasn't heard anything either.
Yeah, he hasn't heard anything. It's weird. So I don't know if that's a bad sign. Like,
I don't know.
Because we talked about it and it just like stopped. Yeah, he hasn't heard anything. It was constantly happening. We talked about it that night. It hasn't happened since then.
Still may not hurt, doing it.
Yeah, we probably should.
But going back to the story,
yeah,
this is crazy.
So, like I said, I've spoken to some people in different cryptozoology groups. They did say they had some ideas, but none of them made sense when you started putting them all together. Someone mentioned, though, there is a Japanese fox spirit that fits the description exactly. But they also said that doesn't make any sense because this is, nowhere near Japan.
Central Indiana?
Yeah. And so...
yeah, I have cameras Luke can use. Luke has cameras.
I do have a camera. I've been lazy. I do have a camera that I can wire up out there tonight, but I'll do it. I'll do it this week. We'll see if we get something by next podcast. But yes, the description of the Japanese fox spirit was virtually identical. And so that was why I just decided to call it the Fox Spirit of Heritage Lake for now.
No, it's a good title. I like it. We gotta. If this continues, we have to try to capture it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get some pictures. If I get anything on those cameras, then we're going to have to do a hunt. Not like trying to kill it. We're going to have to try to get some video of it.
That's crazy, dude. Now I'm excited yet creeped out.
Someone also, one of the cryptozoologists said skinwalker. I don't think it's a skinwalker. I hope it's not
a skinwalker, Luke.
We're in trouble. Because if we go out, well, we were the ones been talking about them. So if we go out there and there's a skinwalker out there, we might be in trouble.
At least we'll have it on camera.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a whole other level of... Luke has cameras. You gotta. He like wise camera like I do. He must be a spokesperson for him.
Yeah,
here.
I got a Ring camera that's sitting on my table in the kitchen.
So what about? Okay, I know we're just talking here. Your brother. Can we get a camera? Can he get a camera there? Like, is it shining? It's down his driveway, right?
Yeah. So he says it consistently comes to one specific spot of his driveway. So he's bringing up trail cameras to cover that area.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that by the next podcast, it'll be taking some pictures and we may have something. Yeah. When he described those hands, the front hands, I was very disturbed. Like at first I was thinking maybe some sort of, mangy dog or something like that, But then he said that these were not like a paw at all because it didn't have like a normal paw is like 4 or whatever. He said this was like prehensile thumb, 4 fingers, claw line.
This has been going on for years, and he just now had something happen to himself after these kids have been talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't know you were talking about the night camera, by the way. What does he say? Viv Game says, well, it kind of seems like it's beckoning them to the end of the driveway. It's probably like a Skinwalker comment.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Even messing with the thing at the end of the driveway in the pond.
So the thing that the fact that it doesn't make any noises and everything like that almost makes it seem like some sort of benevolent entity. Like it's just like a creature of a spirit of the forest kind of thing. I don't know. There's a lot there. This is an area where foxes are at. So
they ain't 5 foot tall.
Yeah, no. I just had an orb pass behind me on camera. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not. I've been like sitting here trying to just.
I was looking at myself and I saw it like went right past my.
We'll have to watch that later.
That way. Anyway, I hope someone else sees it. Anyway,
it'll get creepy.
Yeah, it's a creepy night, everybody.
So someone wants to know if you do get a picture, will you share it?
Oh, absolutely. If I get any pictures at all, it's going to be on here. If I get a picture in something in that garage, if I get something out of his house, it's going to be up here. I will say that my other brother Michael has had some things that he can't quite describe, can't quite explain out by his house. But
is it's in the country?
He's in the country. He's heard sounds out there that are weird. And anyway, he says not like anything he's ever heard before. So anyway, we might end up getting something out there. Who knows? But one day I'll have some videos for everybody, and I'll try to get them to you in advance.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm excited, a bit creeped out. I definitely think if we get an image of something, then we have to actually go out there and record it or attempt
Absolutely. Yeah, we will. If there's something on that camera that we can't explain, we're going to have to do a special live from there.
Yeah. Someone said they rewinded it. They didn't see an orb. So you're good, Luke.
Maybe, but I swear I saw it on mine, but maybe it's just an artifact on my stream thing. Because it's always a little bit weird when you're watching
the crazy sound in the wood. There's a recording for that.
Oh yeah, Michael, my brother Michael, his house. One of the things he heard, he has a recording. I need to get that because it's really creepy, man. Like I've listened to a lot of different animal screams and noises. I'm not sure what this is.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a lot to take in. It's been crazy. Let's do the usual. Let me find a clip for us to watch. Then we'll think about what our favorite moment or story of the night was. There's a lot with this one. This is another good episode. A little all over the place, honestly. It wasn't very structured, but it's just freaking crazy though.
It was fun.
Like last week's was 2 weeks ago was like it flowed really well. This one's just been all over the place, but still fun. Absolutely. So let's find a video to watch here. Then we'll come back with our opinion.
We are broadcasting raw live from my ass. Boom, boom! I'd rather watch 2 old women slap my ass. Woo! That's as tough as a chunk of my ass. Here comes the biggest ass. 350 pounds. Say hello to my ass. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest spectacle on earth. My ass. 30 men will enter my ass. You know what I mean. I totally agree with you, JR. Here you go, King. Kiss my ass. My daughter's nursery rhymes are more aggressive than this. Referee Earl Hebner is always in my ass. That's a little weird. He's got a first-class ticket to my ass. What? Jim Ross. Now, let's not give anyone some bad ideas. There's going to be plenty of turbulence in my ass. Booker T is an idiot. It's not the rock bottom. It's my ass. Are you serious? The poison has now been injected into my ass. The poison is not going to stop until they wipe my ass. I can think of about 7,000 or 8,000 things I'd rather have in my ass. Look at the confident expression on my ass.
Oh, I'm sending that to my brothers after this. Oh man,
I hadn't watched that in at least 10 years or more when I came up with this.
Such a great video.
Do you remember we'd just sit around and drink, and that's one of the
Yeah.
videos we'd watch?
Yeah.
Never failed to stop me from laughing. It certainly got me again there.
Oh man,
Somebody
that
did a
was-
really good job putting that all together.
They did. And you know what's weird? The beat is really good.
Oh yeah, it goes right along with it. Yeah,
It's like, yeah, all right.
yeah. Oh man, the poison has been injected. 30 men will enter. I don't know. You can't make something like that up. Wow.
Yeah.
That's creative. That person needs to make us a introduction song.
That would be awesome.
I call you all the different things that we've said. I don't know, man.
It's all going to be about skinwalkers and shadow people.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the poison, I know it got me too. All right, let's go to it. CX Clip says headphone story was maybe the craziest one yet. I like the video with Skinwalker and the bird flying away. Viv Games, headphone story and the Fox story. Yeah, dude, it's
I really love that that Skinwalker video. It's like the videos always get like the most votes because they're like crazy, because it's nice to have, imagery to go along with it. I really feel like if we get any imagery on this Fox story, it's going to be the best one we've ever done. So I really love the Fox story, but at the same time, that headphone one is weird, and it's also very realistic because what I know of radio and everything like that, I know that it would happen. It can happen. So the only question is why? Why were they on the radio? And that's what's so creepy about that story.
and you would know somebody's voice.
Yeah.
And they're saying your name, your wife's name. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me. The video is obviously awesome. They always are, like you said. It's not my favorite because I've seen it obviously quite a bit of times.
Right.
But I think it's good to be able to connect, like you said, the things we talk about with it.
Yeah.
We'll be able to like have it as a suggestion for a lot of the Skinwalker things that we have. So I think that'll be good. I don't know, man. This thought of this Fox thing has me so thrilled.
Yeah. After
story's the favorite story.
Yeah.
Of the night. I'll say that. But the Fox thing, the creepiness of this and the possibility of this is insane.
Yeah, that was when I first heard when he said this. Like, he actually sent a message. It's like, well, there's a monster by my house.
Does he listen to or watch this show at all? I've never asked him.
Not at all. He didn't know we did this until after he told the story. I was like, I'm going to tell this on the podcast that I do with Jeff about monsters.
Yeah.
And scary stories. And he was like, what? And I said, yeah, we do a podcast. And anyway, he was like, well, what's the I tried some more information, to see what the others had described about it and how long they've been seeing it. But he started off by saying, I have a monster out by my house. And I was like, what are you talking about? Monster about your house? And he told, how these the kids were seeing this. And then he finally saw it. And the thing he said that was funniest was, he said, wasn't so much scared of it, is that I was angry at its existence.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where like you've been telling them to take out the trash and they've come up with these excuses. Then you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. To see this thing come up and just do that. The exact same thing every time too. Just staring at you from the edge of the driveway. He said never, all the stories that all the others said, it never came onto the driveway. It always stands at the edge of it.
Is it like a lot of darkness there too?
It's been a couple of years since I've been out there, but I think there's street lights on the roads there, and so like it wouldn't be super dark.
It's very animal-like. It sounds like.
Yeah,
But it's weird that it would be like that though. That's not.
it's so strange, and everything about it sounds like it's smarter than like an animal. Like it seems to have some sort of intelligence that it's knowing that you're there and it's like staring at you. But why is it staring at you?
If you're watching or listening to this, make sure you tune back in for updates on this.
Yeah, and if as soon as I get some, we will definitely be sharing it because this is the craziest thing ever.
You got a lot to do, man. We got to get this recording from
Wow.
the one
Yeah.
brother. We got to get your camera up outside.
Yes. And maybe one of my stories next week will just be showing whatever evidence I have of all three of these stories at once. Because it's going to
Yeah.
be a lot to unpack. And it will be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. This is another fun night. It was, like I said, it was a little crazy, but this is a fun one. And we have
I
something
love
to really look forward to now.
It was so fun. I will say also the creep on the train was also a great story.
Yeah. Just odd that the guy was doing that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
that's
just-
just a very realistic one, too.
Oh, so good.
For a young woman, though, I mean, it'd be creepy for anybody, a guy breathing on you, but you're all alone. That's just creepy, dude. So I'm excited about the thumbnails, Viv Game says.
We see snakes on a train.
Maybe not too. He'll try to take them. He'll try to take like the film poster, like they have in
Yeah.
theaters, and turn it into a train.
God.
Creeps on a train.
Creeps on a train.
Yeah. Oh, so weird. Well, man, another great episode. Like I said, if you enjoyed this, go back and check out the back catalog, yourscarystories.com, jeffyoutube.com. You'll find the whole Your Scary Stories playlist there and a lot of the other content I create. You're talking about what your brother listened to or not. He may not have watched this show, but he did listen to, well, he watched it, but there's no video with it, but Viv Games and I's Tom Petty breakdown. I know he enjoyed that one because he messaged me about it, but
Yeah, he did see that.
But nevertheless, guys, everybody, we support you coming by every week and checking us out. Like we said, the last couple of streams, we're doing this every 2 weeks now. So still Mondays at 10:30, 10:45 by the time we get going live here. But always appreciate all the support, Luke, from all these people that watch.
It's always fun. I love it.
It's always fun. It's always a great time. And we appreciate all of you. You're all great. And make sure you keep being you and keep being great. We're going to hit the outro here and get out of here.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?